Hi, and welcome to Yoga Therapy for You. Today we're going to do a series to help strengthen and stretch in many of the places where gardeners need it most. So we'll begin standing next to a chair. You don't have to use a chair, but I'm going to use the chair for the majority of the poses today. They can also be done without the chair if you're familiar with most of these poses. So first off, start with checking to see that the chair is sturdy, not sliding around on your mat or your carpet. And then we're going to take one knee up to the chest and make it the knee that's away from the chair. So we're just pulling in, we're working the thigh, the front of the thigh, using the opposite hand just to help with balance if you want, but you don't need to. Now that we've strengthened it, we're going to stretch it. So keeping your knees close together, holding at the ankle, I'm pulling my heel in real close to my body. Make sure those knees stay together. Now turn to face your chair, place your palms flat on the chair, and we're going to lift the opposite leg of the one that you were just working. So that we're continuing to work the leg, the same leg, by having to stand in balance. Now you can also just not have your hands on the chair. We're going to come down and stretch in a forward fold. You can keep yourself on your hands or do as I'm doing, where I'm resting my forehead on my forearms on the chair. Okay, we'll come back up onto the hands, step back with the same side leg that you've been working, and turn your foot. We have the knee directly over the ankle close to the chair. And then we're stretching all along that side, really pressing firm into both heels. Looking up toward the ceiling. And then straighten your hand so your fingers are reaching straight up to the ceiling, and straighten the leg. So now we have this triangle shape that our legs are making with the floor. All this is getting a good stretch on the side of the body. Bring your hand back down and bend the knee to come out. Now we're going to shift the chair right to the center of the mat. Bring your hands back down onto the seat, palms flat, and walk your legs out wide. So I'm just doing a heel toe, and then making sure that my toes are in slightly, about 5 degrees. You can come down onto your forearms. You can stay on your hands. I'm going to rest my forehead on my forearms. Just relax into the stretch, pressing out the back of your legs. And then we'll come back up, and we're going to heel toe our way back in and shift the chair over to the other side so we can do this all on the other side. Starting with the leg that's furthest away from the chair, pulling that up into our knee to chest position, getting a little work in that quad. And again, you don't need to balance with the chair. You can have your hand off the chair for a little extra challenge. And then now that we've worked it, we're going to stretch it, holding the ankle. Knees are close together. Pull the heel in close to the body. And then we'll turn to face the chair, and again the leg that stays planted on the floor is the leg that we just worked and just stretched. Hands are flat on the chair, we're extending straight back. And then we'll bring it down for the forward fold. And again, you can stay on your hands, or like I'm doing, come down onto the forearms. Have a straight line from the hips through the knees to the ankles. You can see that my spine is straight. I'm not rounding to get myself down onto the chair. And then step back with the leg that you've been working. Again, the knee over the ankle. Hand on the chair, extend and stretch that side body. Looking up toward the ceiling. And then turn it into a triangle, straightening the leg. Arm goes straight up to the ceiling now. Really press out that hip to get that good stretch. Bring your hand down to your hip to come out, a little bend to the knee. And then we'll bring that chair back to center again, back into the wide angle forward fold. Hands flat, walk it out. You can stay there with your hands flat or come down onto the forearms. And you can stay there or rest your head. Again, pressing out the back of the legs. You can see that my back is flat. I'm not rounding down. Try to get myself onto the chair. And then press back up. Heel toe your way back in. Come up to standing, and namaste.